Hello everyone. Now the first is the Jordan decomposition
This is the
theorem.
third part of
This
differentiation
theorem
at integration.
says a function f defined on the closed interval ab is of bounded variation if and only if it can be expressed as the difference of two monotone increasing functions on the closed interval ab. So once again, see what is given to us. We are given that a function f which is defined on the closed interval ab which is of bounded variation, then this implies that we can write this f as the difference of two monotone increasing functions, or vice versa, means if any function defined on the closed interval ab can be expressed as the difference of two monotone increasing functions, then this implies your f is of bounded variation. So now see the proof. Let's suppose our f is of bounded variation on the closed interval ab. Now we define the function g and h in such a way such that our f can be written as g minus h. Okay, so basically we define g as we add and subtract. We can write f in f we can add and subtract vf by 2. Okay, and we can also write f as f by 2 f by 2. Now consider g as the sum of these two, f and f by 2, and h as f vf minus f by 2. Okay, so clearly your f can be written as g minus h. So if we define g and h in such a way that it is a half of vf plus f and it is a half of vf minus f, then our f can be written as the difference of these two. Here vf denotes the variation function. Now we want to show that it is that g and h both are monotone increasing functions. So for this we consider x1 and x2 in the interval ab with the condition that x2 is greater than x1. Okay, so now we find out the difference of gx2 and gx1. So we consider gx2 minus gx1 and hx2 minus hx1. Okay, it will be what? Now find out the value of g and h at x2 and as well as at x1. So it will be half of vf at x2 plus f at x2. H is equal to nothing but half of vf at x2 minus f at x2. So now you combine the terms vf's and fx. Okay, so gx2 minus gx1 will be this one, and hx2 minus hx1 will be this one. Now further, it is given that our f is a function of bounded variation. So therefore mod of f of x2 minus f of x1 on the closed interval x1 comma x2. Now just see, since our function is of bounded variation on the closed interval ab, so it is also of bounded variation on the interval x1 comma x2. So in particular we can consider this small interval x1 comma x2. Then the variation of the function at x2 minus x1 will be less than equal to total variation over x1 to x2, and clearly the total variation of the function can be written as the variation function over x2 minus variation function over x1. Just by the definition of variation function, you can split this total variation into two, that x1 going x1 to x and then x to x2, right? And then you can write x1 to x as minus times x to x1. So that will become your variation functions over x2 minus variation functions over x1, right? So from here what we get, whenever our function is a bounded variation on the interval this variation is less than equals to vf at x2 minus vf at x1. Okay, now use this thing in this step and this step. Okay, since our first number, this number is greater than equal to this number, okay, and this number is positive also. Why this is positive? Because this is greater than equal to mode. Okay, so this number is positive also, this number is always greater than equal to this. Now whether this number is positive or this number is negative, since this number is positive and greater than this number, clearly this value will be greater than equals to 0. Similarly in H, since this number is greater than equal to this number, okay, so and this number is positive also, so therefore again with the same concept we get this is greater than equals to 0. So this is greater than equal to 0 means g of x2 is greater than equal to gx1. This is greater than equal to 0 means h of x2 is greater than equal to h of x1. Okay, so this implies that g and h both are monotone increasing real valued functions. Now see the converse part. Conversely, if f is g minus h, where g and h both are monotone increasing functions, then for any partition P of AB, we always have the variations is less than equal to the variations over g plus the variations over h. Now why? Now just see, we can substitute the value of fxi and fxi minus 1. What is f of xi? It is g of xi minus h of xi, right? Since our f is g minus h, so this will be nothing but g of xi minus h of xi minus g of xi minus 1 minus minus plus h of xi minus 1. Okay, now you separate the gx part and hx part, and since we know that mod of a minus b will be less than equal to mod of a plus mod of b, so we can separate g as well as h, right? Now further it is given that g and h are monotonic increasing functions. Since they are increasing, then clearly the value of g of xi will be greater than equal to g of xi minus 1. So now you open this summation, substitute the value of I, you get g at x1 minus g at x0 plus g at x2 minus g at x1 plus g at x3 minus g at x2 and so on, g at xn minus g at xn minus 1. So now just see, g of x1 will be cancelled with g of x1, similarly g of x2 cancel out with g of x2 and so on. We left with the g of xn minus g of x0. G of xn is nothing but g of b and g of x0 is nothing but g of a. Similarly for h function. So what we get variation is less than or equal to gb minus ga plus hb minus ha. All these values are finite values, right? Our function should be defined on the closed interval AB, so these values should be finite one, right? All these values are finite, so we get variation is finite, right? Since it is any partition, so it is true for every partition that the variation is always finite. Okay, since for every partition that variation is finite, so we get total variation is also finite. So hence f is a function of bounded variation. So this theorem is very important. This says that whenever our function is bounded variation, we can always write as the difference of two monotone increasing function. Or if some function is given as a difference of two monotone increasing functions, then it is always of bounded variation. Now you note that the functions g and h in the decomposition theorem of f, they are respectively the positive and negative variations functions of f. Okay, so variation functions of fx is nothing but the sum of these two functions, right? So positive and negative variation function of f, they are respectively denoted with the p and n of the function f going from a to x. So in particular, if our x is AB, x is B, then this is denoted by the positive variation of f is denoted by P of f over AB, similarly n over of f over AB. And this can be easily seen that the total variation is nothing but the positive variation plus the negative variation of the function f over the interval AB. So this is a relation between the positive and the negative part, negative variation of the function f. Now just see the next theorem. This says let f be a function of bounded variation on the closed interval AB. Then f is continuous at a point in a closed interval AB if and only if its variation function Vf is also. So this is says f is a function of bounded variation. This is given to us. So whenever our f is continuous, Vf is also continuous. So now see the proof. Let f be continuous at any particular point x star in the closed interval AB. Then by definition of continuity, for each epsilon greater than 0, there exists a delta greater than 0 such that the difference of fx and fx star, this is less than epsilon by 2 whenever x minus x star is less than delta. Right? This is just by the definition of continuity. Now by the definition of total variation going from x star to b, let's suppose there exists a partition this, okay, of the closed interval x star to b such that this variation is greater than the total variation minus epsilon by 2. This is just by the definition of supremum. Since we know that this total variation is the supremum, so if we subtract some positive number from here, then this will not be the supremum. That means there exists some variation such that which is greater than supremum minus epsilon by 2. Okay. Further, what we assume that? We assume that the first interval in the partition P is of length less than delta. Right? We can easily assume that this length is less than delta, because if it's not so, you add more points in this partition such that this length is less than delta. Okay. So now what we get? The total variation of the function going from x star to b over the interval x star to b minus epsilon by 2. This is less than this summation. Okay. So we split this summation. This summation is going from 1 to n. We separate the first term and then take the summation from 2 to n. Okay. So we get this plus this. Now since x0 minus x1, it is less than delta. So whenever this is less than delta, by the definition of continuity, this is less than epsilon by 2. So substitute the value of this over here. So this is less than epsilon by 2, and clearly this is less than the total variation of the function f from over the interval x1 to b. Now you can take this term to this side and epsilon by 2 to this side. So what we have total variation of the function from x star to b or from x1 to b. This difference is less than epsilon. Right? Now we can write this minus of this as the plus of t of f going from b to x1. Okay, and then we can combine these two and we get this is total variation of the function going from x star to x1. So we get this is less than epsilon. Now this is what? This is nothing but the variation of the function at x1 minus variation of the function at x star. So we get this thing is less than epsilon whenever x1 minus x star is less than delta, right? So this implies, by the definition, whenever x is going to x star from positive side as well as negative side, our Vfx is going to Vfx star. So this implies our function is continuous at x star. So Vf is continuous at x star. Now see the converse. If the variation function Vf is continuous at any point x star in the closed interval AB, then the by definition of continuity, for each epsilon there exists delta greater than 0 such that for this distance less than delta, the variation function also satisfies this inequality. Okay, but we know that variation f of x minus f of x star, it is always less than equal to this variation, right? So therefore this is also less than epsilon whenever this is less than delta, and this implies that f is continuous at x star. So since x star is any point, any arbitrary point in the closed interval AB, it means our functions are continuous. The corollary, a continuous function is of bounded variation if and only if it can be expressed as the difference of two continuous monotone increasing functions. This is just by previous two theorems. By the Jordan decomposition theorem, any bounded variation function can be written as the difference of two monotone increasing functions. And the previous theorem, a continuous function, continuous, whenever your function is of bounded variation and function is continuous, this implies variation functions are also continuous. And G and H, they are nothing but the positive and negative variation, so variation function is also continuous, right? But we may also express the difference of two monotone increasing functions which have discontinuity even countably many. Now for example, if f is g minus h, we can add and subtract a function k which is increasing and which have discontinuities, right? Then again g plus k is monotonic increasing and having discontinuity, h plus k is monotonic increasing with discontinuity, right? So our f may be expressed as the difference of two monotonic increasing discontinuous functions, right? Because we can always subtract and add a function which is discontinuous, so we can express. However, whenever we have a continuous function, whenever we have a bounded variation function, it is always expressed as the difference of two monotone increasing functions which are continuous also. So we can express this function this also and vice versa too, but we can also express the function as the discontinuous functions because we can add and subtract a function which is discontinuous and increasing.